Welcome to Reality Rewire, presented by the Wisdom Network. We're here to explore the tools, practices, and healing modalities that create real transformation from the inside out. Today's conversation is one that you're definitely going to want to hear. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Reality Rewire, presented by the Wisdom Network. I'm Michelle, and today we are going into something that I think is going to crack a lot of people open. Have you ever looked at your life and felt this strange, unsettling feeling that none of it quite fits? Like you're living someone else's story?
Oh, that hits immediately. I think so many people are going to hear that and feel it in their chest before they even know why. So, Michelle, let's just start right there. What is actually happening when someone feels that way?
So what I've seen again and again, both in my own journey and working with people, is that this feeling of being trapped in a life that doesn't belong to you is often rooted in something much older than this lifetime. We're talking about past life contracts. And I know that might sound out there to some people, but stay with me here because this is real. And it shows up in very tangible, very recognizable ways.
I love that you said stay with me because I think that's the right invitation. For people who are maybe newer to this idea, can you break down what a past life contract actually is? Like, what are we really talking about?
Yes, absolutely. So a past life contract is essentially an agreement, a vow, or a promise that your soul made in a previous lifetime. Sometimes these were conscious decisions. You vowed loyalty to a person, a religion, a family lineage, a role. Sometimes they were imposed on you through trauma or through deeply conditioning experiences. And the thing is, your soul carries that forward. It doesn't just disappear when the body does.
So the soul is like, okay, I made this agreement and I'm honoring it even across lifetimes.
Exactly. And the soul's intention is pure. It's not trying to sabotage you. It genuinely believes it's doing the right thing by honoring that agreement. But the problem is the context has completely changed. The person you made the vow to may not even be in your life. The situation that made the contract necessary no longer exists. But the energy of it is still running in the background like an old program.
That's such a powerful way to put it. An old program. So what does that look like in someone's actual life today? What are the signs that a past life contract might be operating?
There are so many. One of the biggest ones is this persistent feeling of obligation to people or situations that you can't logically justify. You know you should leave. Everyone around you can see it. But something deep inside you feels like you can't, like there's a force holding you there.
That's going to resonate with so many people. I'm thinking of people who stay in careers, relationships, family dynamics that they know on some level aren't theirs, and they can't figure out why they keep choosing it.
Right. And the word choosing is interesting because it doesn't always feel like a choice. It feels like gravity, like you're being pulled towards something and you don't know why. Another big sign is unexplained guilt. You feel guilty for wanting more, for changing, for stepping outside a certain role. And there's no event in this lifetime that fully explains the intensity of that guilt.
That's huge because guilt is one of those things that keeps people so stuck. And a lot of times people trace it back to childhood or to a parent, and there's something there, sure, but it doesn't fully account for the weight of it.
Exactly. The weight is the key word. When the emotion is disproportionate to the current life evidence, that's a signal that we're dealing with something older. And another sign is a recurring life theme. The same dynamic keeps playing out no matter how much inner work you do, no matter how many times you leave, no matter how many fresh starts you take.
So the contract is essentially scripting the same story over and over.
Yes. And here's what's so important to understand. This isn't about being cursed or being punished. It's about a soul pattern that hasn't been consciously released. The soul is loyal. It's incredibly loyal. And it's waiting for you to say, okay, I see this. I understand it. And I'm ready to let it go.
I love that reframe so much because I think people can go into this territory and feel a kind of helplessness like, oh, great, now there's a past life problem on top of everything else. But what you're saying is this is actually good news.
It is such good news. Because when you can name something, when you can see the mechanism, you have power over it. You're no longer just suffering a mystery. You're working with something that has structure and can be addressed.
So let's talk about that. How does someone actually start to work with a past life contract? What does that process look like?
So the first thing is awareness, and honestly, just being willing to consider that something from another lifetime might be relevant. That openness is not a small thing. A lot of people are carrying these contracts, and the mind is working so hard to rationalize them, to explain them away. So just pausing and saying, what if something older is at play here? That's a real shift.
And I imagine journaling plays a role here, like getting curious about those patterns.
Absolutely. Writing down the repeating themes, the roles you always seem to end up in, the obligations that feel impossible to shake, the relationships that have a strange, timeless quality to them, like you've known this person forever, even if you just met. These are all breadcrumbs, and when you start to map them out, patterns emerge.
That's such a practical starting point, just becoming the observer of your own life patterns.
And then there's the energetic and somatic piece. Past life contracts don't just live in the mind, they live in the body. So paying attention to where you hold tension, where you feel constricted when you imagine certain choices, that's your body pointing you toward where the contract lives.
Oh, that's fascinating. So someone might feel tightness in their chest when they even think about leaving a job, or heaviness in their gut when they imagine saying no to a family member.
Yes, and that's not weakness. That's actually your body being incredibly wise and showing you exactly where to look. The constriction is the contract, and the practice is to breathe into it, to bring compassionate awareness to it, and to begin having an internal conversation with that part of yourself that made the original agreement.
I love that, actually talking to it, acknowledging it.
Because it deserves acknowledgement. That past version of you made that contract for a reason. There was wisdom in it at the time, you honor it by recognizing it, and then you release it by saying thank you. That agreement served its purpose, and I am free now.
That's genuinely moving, and I think that's so different from trying to bulldoze through it or just white-knuckling your way to change.
So different. White knuckling creates more resistance. This is about dissolving the root, not fighting the symptom.
Okay, so let's pull together some practical takeaways for our listeners. What can someone do this week to start exploring whether a past life contract might be at work in their life?
First, sit quietly and ask yourself, where in my life do I feel like I'm living out a story that doesn't feel like mine? Just notice what surfaces. Don't judge it, don't analyze it yet, just let it come.
That's such a gentle but powerful first step.
Second, journal about your repeating patterns. What roles do you always end up playing? Where does the guilt show up without a clear current life reason? Third, find where this lives in your body. Scan from head to toe and notice where you feel restriction when you think about the parts of your life that feel most stuck.
And then that practice of actually speaking to that past self, that ancestral soul version of you.
Yes, you can literally write a letter. Dear past me, I see what you agreed to. I understand why. And I'm releasing us both from this now. Simple, compassionate, and genuinely effective as a starting point.
I have to say this conversation has shifted something in me just sitting here having it. I think there are people who have been carrying this mystery their whole lives, and today might be the first time it has a name.
That's exactly why I love this work so much. Because when the mystery gets a name, it loses its grip. You stop being a victim of something invisible and you become someone who is actively, consciously choosing their own story.
And for anyone who wants to go deeper with this, who doesn't want to navigate it alone, I just want to say that the Wisdom Network has some truly extraordinary healers, past life regression practitioners, hypnotherapists, and spiritual coaches who do exactly this kind of work. People who will meet you right where you are and walk with you through it. You can find them at thewisdomnetwork.net.
And you deserve that level of support. This work is profound and you don't have to figure it out by yourself. Go explore, find someone who resonates, and take that step.
Thank you so much for this one, Michelle. This was a really special episode.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you to everyone listening. Keep rewiring.
And if you are ready to stop doing this alone, we have an incredible community of healers, spiritual life coaches, and hypnotherapists at the Wisdom Network who are ready to meet you exactly where you are and take you somewhere completely new. That's right. Head over to thewisdomnetwork.net, find your practitioner, and take that powerful leap forward. We'll see you in the next episode.